Yes, yes.
Is one. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, about a day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Is won. Is won.
Okay, welcome to another edition of Straight Talk. Straight Talk is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. And we always try to catch and honor our present, our past, and our future. And if you embrace us tonight and just stay with us, you're going to get a feel of all of that. And also, it's quote, unquote, honoring Women's Month. But we know we honor women every day. But we're going to stay with what's happening in current affairs right now. And the first lady I'm going to bring is honoring Straight Talk's Young at Heart segment. She's a former, you know, when I say former, we're going to put it like that title. Former president of the N.A.A.C.P in Vancouver. And all the time she's out pioneering the way for us. Please, let's give a clap praise for Mother Marva from the N.A.A.C.P. Come on with us, Mother Marva.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You know, today is International Women's Day month. And, you know, I looked some of that up because I wanted to be sure I knew this was Women's History Month. But it said that Women's History Month is a salute to the role of women and how they have progressed through life, all the things that they have done to add to the world and to their communities. And also with that, I would like to talk about how did I get here? And that's one of the things that people kept asking me when I first came. Well, how did you get to Vancouver, Washington? Where are you from? And I said, well, I kind of incorporated this into a poem. Born in Terre Haute, Indiana, now I'm in Vancouver, Washington. And they say, how did you get here? I hear it over and over. How did you get way out here? Well, I've traveled through most of the United States, at least 40 of them. I've traveled to Canada, Japan, and Guam. And I landed way out here. And they asked me, how did you get here? Well, I keep reminding myself of my dreams that I had when I was a young girl. When I began to play with my paper dolls, I remember I would dress them in different clothes. And also I would dream of living different places. I would dream of getting an education. I would dream of traveling throughout the world, buying a home, getting married, having children. So how did I get here? Because I didn't stop when my dream changed. As I got older, my dream changed and things changed, but I still kept my dream. I learned to travel. I learned to keep moving. And they say, but how did you get here? when I look at the picture on Main Street of me on that board, they had me in a program was, well, how did you get here? And I kept saying, well, I kept moving. I kept going forward. I didn't stop. No matter what happened in my life, I just kept going forward, moving until I arrived to where I am now. I remembered my dream. I remembered what my father said, get an education and do unto others that you want them to do unto you. And that's what I did. And that's how I arrived in Vancouver, Washington. I didn't stop when I got here. I went out into the community. And of course, what met me was racism, but I didn't let that stop me. I kept moving forward. I worked in the community and I started receiving awards, and they gave me a new name. One was, you're a woman of achievement. I am Clark County. I am one of the founding mothers of Clark County. And that's making a difference, they said. Well, I didn't realize I was making that much of a difference. But through the NAACP, I was the chief operating officer of the Ethnic Rites of a Passage. It's where we did a program with, well, at first was African American, and then we became ethnic American. And it was at least 20 of the students. But this is how I got here. Through all of my travels, I remembered my dream. And I would also like to highlight, through the NAACP, we sponsored the First Families book. And that's how I thought of them, and I met most of them. Most of them have died off, but I looked at them and I paired my life with theirs. They kept moving. They moved from the south to the west, northwest. It was different, but they kept moving. So when you're going through life, always remember to stay young at heart. You have to keep moving.
Oh my goodness. Let's give us Mother Marva a crap plays, everybody. Yes, yes. You know, he dropped the mic. The show is over. Straight Talk is over. The show's over. Okay. I tell you, when the young at heart, we sit at their feet and we just listen. We don't interrupt. We just listen. Mother Marva, we appreciate you so much for pioneering the way and blessing us with your wisdom. And she, you know, those that know her, she actually gave us some poetry right there. How did you get here? And that is a question we all gonna ask ourselves and pass down. How did we get here? Well, I'm gonna share how I got here with Meet Mother Marva. There's another lady that's on the phone, on the call, right? I keep saying phone and call. I've been on phone and calls all day. On the program tonight, Dr.Audrey Terrell. She's a pioneer, and those two is like, they got a chemistry that just goes together. They just, you know, I see why they honor each other. They just be out in the community, blessing us. Dr. Terrell, you know, she always comes in, Brother Tony, you need to talk to this person. You need to talk. I said, just put them on the phone. This is everybody's platform. I'm letting everybody know that this is your platform. Whatever issues or topics we have, we're going to bless each other and use this platform. Dr. Terrell, can you come on and share a little bit about, she's the founder of Dr.Audrey Terrell N.A.A.C.P Institution. Share a little bit of what N.A.A.C.P is doing these days, Dr. Terrell. Let's give Dr. Terrell a clap, please. Come on, Dr. Terrell. Because Mother Marva dropped the mic. Come on. Dr. Terrell?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you for the invite. It's wonderful to be here. And as Brother Tony has said, I'm Dr. Audrey Terrell. I'm President and CEO of the Dr.Audrey Terrell Institute. And we are what Reverend Marva just said, moving on.
We need you to back up off the mic a little bit because you said some good, yeah, we want to hear everything.
We're moving on, moving forward. With the Institute, I have 10 high schools with their Black student unions. I have been working with them for the past 6 years. I have one executive board member on with me. She's Alice Scott. My executive board members are all residents all over the United States. They're from Washington, D.C., Detroit, Michigan, Oakland, California. Alice Scott is from Oakland, California. She is a Secretary of Treasurer. She's thank her for being on, agreeing to come on. But all I'm trying to say is that I like that what Reverend Marva about moving forward. I was able to I'm retired from the international staff of the UAW. I ran the International Women's Department, 250,000 females that work for General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. And so I had a lot of interaction and interaction in Washington, D.C. with the government on the rights of women. So as I retired and I relocated to Vancouver, Washington, I noticed how the Black students needed a little bit more exposure to Black history, what possibilities they have, and of course, education. So I went out and took all my connects all over the country, pulled them in from Oakland, pulled them in from Detroit and Los Angeles and Houston, Texas, and Washington, D.C., and we started this institute. So we've been doing really, really good. I have a Division I. These are all the youth 18 and above that's out of high school, and they're in college or working somewhere. And then I also have Division II, and these are the youth that's still in high school. So it's been very, very, we're moving forward. It's very, very impressive. I enjoy working with the youth. I enjoy teaching them and encouraging them that you got to move on. Move on. Yes, I pick cotton. Yeah, but look, I'm still here. I'm trying to touch the lives of these youth to be able to, y'all don't have to do what I had to do. Your life can be much better now, but you got to move forward. You got to keep moving every day. Give away, learn how to be caring about other people. Go to school. We travel to some HBCUs down south. We go to seminars. We just do a lot of things. I have one representative that's on here today with us, Vanesia Dedmond. I'm very proud of her. I'm getting her active into the government here in Vancouver. Leadership, teach them how to be in leaders. So thank you for this opportunity for the Dr.Audrey Terrell Institute to be participatory in your show. We really appreciate it, and I'm just so proud of our youth because I'm teaching them, keep moving, move forward.
Thank you, Doctor. Let's give Dr. Terrell a clap praise. I believe give everybody a clap praise. I know the pastor agree with that. Yes, give them a clap praise. She mentioned something right there. She mentioned picking cotton, which gives me a segue into this young lady. Miss Marsha, would you please come on and just share a little bit about your journey? And when you said picking cotton, share a little bit about your journey and what you're doing today. Miss Marsha, please bless us. Come on.
Well,
clap praise. Yes, give a clap praise.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. It is an honor to be here and to be in the midst of people who are moving forward. My journey started, I am the great granddaughter of a slave, and I grew up in the Midwest. And I moved to this area. It's been a few years, but I am glad to be here in Vancouver and glad to share with you all today of how I feel being a great granddaughter of a slave. I have been through many, many things, but I want you to know that you definitely need to understand that you are a great people, and to know that you come from greatness.
Yes.
You come from a people who have given 246 years
Come on.
of free labor to a nation.
Mhm.
And I want you to know that you are not forgotten in my mind. You will always be a memory. And no matter what your experiences are, you will always be special. I commend you. I honor you because of your walk. I understand because, like I said, I live in Vancouver and I've faced many, many injustices. It's been degrading and horrifying to be in this space. But I want you guys to understand that because we've given that, I am believing that we are in the season and the era of making change. And it's time for us to take a stand.
Yes.
Because like Tony said, I picked cotton when I was a young girl. And most people think of all of that being way back when.
Mhm.
And to me, we need people to understand that we were the first to do open heart surgery in America.
Yeah.
We were the first to separate Siamese twins. And you have a great history. You need to know that you created the dream for America.
Mhm.
They may not want to remember or consider you when you run for offices or do anything here locally or nationally. But I'm here to tell you that America would not be America today if it had not been for African American people. We were the first to die for this flag we now hold high, and we need to understand and celebrate that, because I have found that others are not going to celebrate us. We're going to have to find a way to let them know that the same dream we created for them, we're going to create it for ourselves. We're going to find ways to stand against all of the injustices, and we're going to make sure that we let them know that our amendment rights are valuable, and we will take a stand until we are heard. We're not going anywhere. My dream and desire is that we make a stand, because this nation was created
I'm feeling you. That's okay. Go ahead.
under
Yeah.
one nation under God, and under God we trust. And that's who we're trusting in. I believe that this is the season for us to stand together with power and influence and to change a nation and a city, because we're not going anywhere. It
No,
is
we're
time
not.
for us to do, as I've said, for ourselves what we've done for others. We build this nation, and no one can take that from us.
That's right.
There is no people like our people. And
That's
they would
right.
have you think about whether you've done crime, or they would have you say they want to show that we've murdered people and that we rob and we do all of this. But I'm going to tell you, so you can get a visual. If you count everything that you've ever done wrong, it cannot compare to the wrong that's been done to you.
You are right.
And the good that you've done.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You've done so much good that there is no comparison on
That's
any
right.
level. And as those that are standing up and taking a position to see change, I commend all of you. because any of you that have gone through and your ancestors have paved the way for this nation. And it is time for us to let them know that we are aware and we are expecting them to give back. But if they don't, we're going to take it by force. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be at every rally that those that are running for office are there. We're going to put them on the spot. We're going to make sure that our rights are not being passed. And we're not going anywhere until we see change. And I believe that we can do that. Absolutely. Power and influence. I've been teaching my children because I have an issue with elderly going into their twilight years, worked all of their lives and have nothing. Build a nation. Is there something wrong with that picture that you have built? When you look at banks like Wells Fargo and companies like the May Company, you built that. Companies and different things in your city. Look at the White House. Black people built the White House, but they want to tell you that you are not worthy of the dream. People come here from Germany and they make comments and they say, well, my ancestors came here and they're living the dream. Well, we created the dream and they don't want us to have a part of it. But I've decided that our elderly are not going to go into their twilight years without proper insurance, without owning homes. It is time out for that. If we personally have to go and learn how to help them build houses or whatever we need to do, help them organize, clean their homes, fix fences, or whatever we have to do, I believe united, we can stand. And I am up for it. I am going to do everything I can to let this nation know that we have arrived at a stance of power and influence. And we are no longer going to take the infinitum murders that they have done on our people. And we're not going to stand for them not giving us a part of the dream. They're loaning money to every other nation. They've helped every other nation. But here we are, a people that built them a nation. And I think the greatest casualty is to be forgotten. And they have forgotten our service.
Well,
we're going to remind them.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ms. Marsha,
God bless you guys.
Oh, yes. Ms.Marva, Mother Marva said, how do we get here? Well, we're going to go. You just told us how we get here and where we're going.
That's right.
We appreciate it. We got to have a segment for you that's called Did You Know? Because you dropped some history on us, Miss Marsha. You blessed us with some history. I'm going to go right over to, I wanted to go, you spoke about the politics. You spoke about the racism. And I could go segue into two people right there. But please, I want to go to a lady that's a part of 3 nonprofits in Vancouver, who's been paving the way, sharing and embracing everybody. She's the co-chair of Jack and Jill. She's the chair of the Vancouver Royal Family Camps. She's just blessing, and also the Gardner School of Arts. So she got all of it in her hands and sharing it with everybody. Please help me welcome with a clap praise, Mrs. B.J. Andrew. Please, come on, Miss B.J. Andrew. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. But
You're welcome. Come, yes.
Let's segue into a poem.
Okay.
I have a poem that's dedicated to my lovely wife and to all the ladies that does this. And the poem is titled, A Lady's Dream. She had awakened very early and she could not go back to sleep. The dream she had was vivid now with memories she wanted to keep. It was about a world of people that loved and cared so much that it spread throughout the universe until every soul was touched. Now, this dream was quite a task for her, and at times it was hard to do because this wonderful dream she shared was about she just loving you. Loving and giving and living in life was all we have to do to make this dream of our world a living dream come true. Now reality is upon her, and she can't go back to sleep and dream a dream about this love because hate just goes too deep. You must go out into the world until every heart is touched because this love she has inside, she needs to share so much. And who she is a possibility of being with you now and throughout eternity in brotherhood and love. And that's who she is.
I didn't know we had Langston Hughes on the call.
I think she's ready now.
Yeah, that's powerful. Come on, Miss Andrews, share a little bit about your travels.
Oh,
Powerful, Miss Andrews. Yes.
I've traveled a long distance, and my passion began as a babysitter when I was 8 years old, and it was about the love of children. Because you know what, back in the old school, when we were growing up, it was like children should be seen and not heard.
Yes.
And you know, I always challenged that because I believe that children had a voice, and that's why I have always done, all my nonprofits have always been dedicated toward children. And so the first one that I actually started was Jack and Jill of America, which is an organization that was actually to cultivate the children. When I moved here to Vancouver, there were so few of us, people of color. And so what I wanted to do, my kids were going to school and they weren't even communicating with the other children of color that were in their classroom. Everyone was like disconnected. And I was like, what is going on? I was invited to join a Jack and Jill group in Portland, but that was too far for my children to travel. So I felt that a need to develop a program here in Vancouver. And that's when I began to recruit the African American women that were here in Vancouver and begin a chapter of Jack and Jill, so that our kids, when they passed each other in the hallway, they would recognize each other. And so that happened, and we did Black History Month, we did a lot of activities, and we put our children center stage here in Vancouver, Washington. And it was incredible. It was an incredible experience. And then after that, I felt like we needed a school. We needed a school that would help children to better themselves, especially our male children. And that's when I was talking to a friend of mine, and I says, we need to start a school. And so we took us a few years, and we started a school here, and it's called the Gardner School of Arts and Sciences. And that school is now experiencing its 25th year.
Oh, let's give you a clap praise on that. Give a clap praise. After 25 years?
25 years.
Yes.
And then after that, my heart was moved to children in foster care. Okay. Because those children are so displaced. They're abused and they're neglected, and they're kind of tossed aside. So I started a Royal Family Kids Camp for kids that are in foster care, and we gave them a week-long camp just for them. And it was amazing to see the transformation that happened with those children. It was just a blessing.
Oh, and some of them ended up being adopted.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And going to home.
Absolutely. And you know, we honoring women. So I want the pastor and Mr. Derek just to hang on with me. Just hang in there with me, Pastor. Just hang in there with me, because we're gonna honor these women, because they are dropping the mic. Their hearts is so big in their journey. And I'm gonna go over to a young lady who is doing just what we're asking our youth to do.
All right.
Get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Be a part of the process. She's
Yes.
alumni for DATI, but she's also a part of Young Clark's Democrats.
All
Ms.
right.
Vanesia, could you come on and share a little bit about that? And she's also out helping the unfortunate by providing food for them as well. And she just came back from Africa a couple of years ago.
All
Ms.
right.
Vanesia, come on and share a little bit with us.
All right.
Please give her a clap praise, please.
Hi, I'm Vanesia Dedmond, and as Tony has said, I am alumni with DATI. I was with her since 2016 when I started a Black Student Union at my school, and we really needed it because the teachers were coming to me asking me, can you start a Black Student Union? And I was looking around, I was like, yeah, I really need to, because we need to bring all the Black students together. We were so separated, like me and my sister, we were our only friends, and that was a problem to me because I didn't see no Black kids around, and if they were around, they were skipping classes. So I created that, and that's how I met Dr. Audrey, because she helped me grow the BSU at Parkhurst High School. Knowing her, she introduced me to the political party, Democrat Party in Clark County, Vancouver, and I joined their Zoom meeting, and it was very informational, and it was really important for me to attend as a young Black woman. I was the only Black woman there from DATI, and it was really important for me to be there because I was seeing what the plans were for the Democrats in Vancouver, and they needed somebody of color to be there too, to really like also like show that we're watching and that we're involved as well. And for our insights, they needed, of course, they need for us to speak as well. And sorry, I was getting lost. When we went to me and Dr. Audrey and my roommate, she called me and she said, we got free sandwiches, we got hundreds of meals. And it was the day it was supposed to snow, on a snowstorm day. So we got out before it started snowing, because she called me and told us to get up right now and hit the door so we could get to them before the storm hit. And we served like over 65 lunches that day. And we drove around Portland, and it was like nothing was really planned. We were just like, let's look for people, let's look for tents. We were driving around just looking for tents and looking for homeless people right before the storm hit, and we was trying to direct them to shelter as well to make sure that they stay warm that night. And yeah, that's pretty much.
Well, we're gonna give you a clap praise, right? Because you are our future, and you are out there. Give her a clap praise, please, everybody. Give her a clap praise, because what I heard is interesting. You mentioned when you went to school, you didn't see hardly anybody but yourself. And Miss Andrews spoke about starting a program to help children at that time because there was nobody like them. And Miss Marsha spoke about her journey coming and being able to facilitate an atmosphere because it was nobody like us. And I'm just like, we see how the atmosphere and the energy and how our history is coming today. It's happening right now. And you spoke about being on the political party and being a part of that process. Nobody looking like you. And I have a young man, and our heart goes out to you because you are our future. And to hear that you are so involved, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's powerful. I don't know, Vanesia, if you know how powerful that is and what that means to us, to hear you talk about the journey and that you're part of the process for our future. For our future. We got the music, but we're gonna come back. I have a young man who's bringing all that together, the racism, crossing the barriers, bringing it together, creating a platform to address the issues of racism in the police force, and how we're going to address that. We got the music coming up. Brother engineer is going to send us another link. Please grab that link, come back on, and Peacemaker, Derek Thomas, and the pastor, we're going to hear from you. Okay? Well, I guess we okay. Brother engineer?
The link is going out, and I will be back in 5 minutes. I have to download the segment, and then I'll let everyone back in.
Okay, Straight Talk is a show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people. We'll see everybody in 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we have another Zoom?
Yeah,
email?
He's sending them out now.
Okay.
Yes. Zoom 3. We'll see everybody in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for the patience. One love. One love.
Okay, Tony, you can bring it back whenever you want.
Okay. I'm sharing with a past, a present, and future. At Straight Talk TV is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. And the young man that's getting ready to come on, he has a program called PeaceMakers. And what they have embarked upon is huge, because it's bringing, matter of fact, I'm just going to bring Brother Derek on and his first lady and let him share about his project, the PeaceMakers. Mr. Derek Thomas, please, sir.
Thank you. And let me first thank you, Tony Brown, for your TV show. This is really, really awesome. It's something we need, and I'm like you. We need to expose you more, so that you can expose more of who we are and what we're trying to do, all of us in this community and in this world. So I thank you for that. And let me just make one small correction. It's Thompson, Derek Thompson.
Derek Thompson. I received it, sir. I received that. Yes.
And I want to ask everybody to be patient with me, because I get very emotional about this. Because I'm very serious. And thank you for the compliment. You keep calling me young man. I just turned 70 in January.
young man, yes.
but I do feel very young. But again, thank you for having us on. And this is my wife, Regina Thompson. Okay, we're the founders of the PeaceMakers organization. And stop me if I talk too much, because I have a lot. We have a lot to say. There's a lot going on. Let me just tell you a little bit why we are here, how we began. Because we see with the COVID came in, and then with George Floyd and all the other murders that came in, what we saw going on in the communities was nothing that was going to help us move forward. What we didn't see was our people of color, Black people, getting together, using education, intelligent conversation, and going to the source of the problem. We saw on TV, we saw people up in the faces of police who were standing out there, protecting, as if that's what they want to call it, protecting, cussing them out and doing those types of things. That doesn't get us anywhere. What I realized was what's going on there, we're perpetuating the myth that has been perpetuated forever. So those same officers that people were getting up in their faces, screaming and hollering at, were thinking, okay, they deserve to be treated the way we treat them because they act just like that. Right. So we looked at it, really, God showed me, this is what you do. When we're out on a job and we have a problem on a job with someone, what do? We go and we talk to the person who hired them, HR or someone like that. We're not doing that here. We're cussing out policemen on the street who are doing whatever it is they do. We need to go inside of the police departments, the sheriff's department. We need to establish relationships. And I'm not saying relationships that we're going to run buddy and hand in hand, but relationships so we can go in and have intelligent conversations that bring about a change. What we're about is building bridges that bring law enforcement and community together into a healthy and lasting relationship with the focus on Black people and people of color. That's how we came into being, the PeaceMakers. And I might say that I just love, let me say it like this. None of this is our idea, though, okay? I want everybody to know, none of this is our idea. It came from above. It came from the God that we serve. Okay? The name, the mission, and everything. That's what it's all about. We have, I think what's really unique with our organization is that we actually have established a couple of relationships with a couple of sheriffs here in Clark County, who one of them actually is on our board. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight because duty kept him out. He's actually a Mexican gentleman, Lawrence Zapata, who I think you spoke with him, Tony.
Yes, Mr. Derek, can I say this here? Get an opportunity. Let's please make that happen. Straight Talk is a platform to get with the officers so they can come on too. And we can put this together.
Yes.
Okay.
But we're not done. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because it's necessary. We just did our launch, and Sister Marsha was there, Sister Terrell was there, and I think what was really, really awesome to me was that Officer Zapata,
yes,
a sheriff in Clark County, a person of color,
yes,
was up on the podium speaking about reforms need to be made in the police department, because there's a lot of people, there actually is a lot of officers who don't like what's going on, but they have a job, and that's a brotherhood. And it's actually a dangerous business. I know some people who are inside, you know, it's a dangerous business. So, but I thought that was pretty awesome. And then afterwards he prayed, he's in uniform, and he prayed about what the peacemakers are out here to do. I think that's an awesome picture.
That's it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, if I may, I just want to give just a little bit of history about myself.
Okay. Yes, please, please.
Oh, I thought
in about 10 minutes.
Was that a question? Can you hear me still?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Just a little bit of history. I grew up here in Portland, Oregon. I'm not from Portland, Oregon. I grew up in Texas, where my mother and my grandmother are from, and I still feel like a Texan. But but I grew up here in Portland. My family was one of the oldest families in Portland. My grandmother was one of the first Black women to work in the shipyards, as a matter of fact, way back in the day. There's a lot of firsts or near firsts in our family. In 8th grade, my family moved beyond the boundaries that were set up for us in Portland, Oregon, the untold boundaries that were set up for us in Portland, which was we didn't go east past 15th Avenue.
Okay.
We didn't go, we couldn't go north too far because there was Columbia Boulevard and then there was the water. We basically didn't go past Broadway or Sandy, and going west, there was really nowhere to go. So they kept us over here all the time. In 8th grade, my family moved to the Alameda district.
Okay.
And that was my really first physical experience that I was different than the world.
Yes.
Alameda School is, I'm sure everybody knows where it is now. It's in the city. It's on 29th and Fremont is where it is. We moved out there. We were the second Black family to move out in that area. And when I went to that school, I was the 1,000th student. That was good. But here's the thing about it. We were so foreign to white kids that they would come up to me and ask me if they could touch me and see what I felt like.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
How
many Blacks, African Americans, Asiatic, whichever title you choose, that was in the school at that time?
People of color?
Yes.
Myself, my youngest sister, and my 2 brothers.
3. See, and the reason I asked that because Miss Vanesia was sharing about her and her sister being the only Blacks at the school, and I just see how everything's just trying to go ahead, sir. Yes, that was the moment. Yes.
Another first. My wife and I, it was 40 some years ago, moved out to Tigard.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
My parents actually moved out there about a month or 2 before we moved out there. And then my mother actually found a house and invited us out there. The first night we got out there, right out there by the community college, Portland Community College, we were pulling up, we were 2 blocks from the house we were moving into. A car screeched up behind us. A couple of young white fellas got out of the car and told us to go back to our own neighborhood.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
40 years ago. My wife and I worked at Nike.
Okay.
Okay. Before Nike was was even Nike, it was Blue Ribbon Sports. My wife and I worked there on through when the swoosh came in, it became Nike. Injustices.
Yes.
There's a whole lot to say about working at Nike, but let me tell you, this is how the white world works. It was Christmas time. They brought everybody around and brought these little busts of Santa Claus, cardboard busts of Santa Claus. Now I had been given a position. I was one of the only 2 Black people in Nike in Oregon that had a position. Okay. Here's what I did. I simply got a brown marker and I colored my Santa's face brown because it identified with me. It started a firestorm.
Oh my goodness.
I got demoted because of that. We filed a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit. It was my wife, myself, and this African gentleman who was there. We filed a class action lawsuit with Nike, and it was so rock solid that they put a gag order on us.
Oh my goodness.
We couldn't talk to anyone about it. To make a long story short, in the end, the case was settled. I'm not saying we won. The case was settled, and I'm gonna tell you, it was a forced settlement.
Okay.
They offered us each a check for $5,000 and said, "Take this check and get out of here, or stay here and forfeit the check," knowing what would happen if we stayed there.
Absolutely.
We'd have forfeited the check, and they would have sent us away anyway. While we were out there in Beaverton, seriously, for like almost a year, I got stopped almost every week, at least once, because I used to go work at 5:30 in the morning, and they would stop me. And here's the first thing they said to me: "What are you doing here?"
Come on. Yes.
I got stopped on 217 going to work one day at Nike. We lived around the corner, 2 or 3 blocks away from where we worked at Nike at that particular time. I'm driving to work, 5:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden, all these sirens and things start going down the freeway. About 25 police surrounded me, pulled me over, guns all in my car. They're screaming and hollering at me because they told me they thought I was the I-5 killer.
Oh my goodness.
And when it was all said and done, when they found out that I wasn't who they thought I was, I wish we had cell phones then, so you could have seen them scrambling and trying to apologize. I mean, I have had so many injustices visited upon me. Our son, when he got in, when he was in high school, I think it was, there was a grade school out there, because he grew up there.
40 to 50
He used to do the same thing. He used to get pulled off all the time. He got beat up by 4 or 5 white boys one time. He was with his white partners.
Right.
They got out the car. No, not his partners. These other white boys got out of their car, attacked our son.
Oh my goodness.
Not the white boys, attacked our son.
Right.
But it was known who the attackers were, and the police would not even accept the evidence.
Because they was right there watching it.
Right. The police was right there watching it?
Yes, yes. They saw the whole thing.
Miss Thompson, is that Thompson?
Yeah.
Right there as a mother, please share how you felt, because we experienced this today.
Yes, it's still going on.
Yes.
Nothing has changed. Nothing. When I heard about that, I was furious. And back then, I wasn't a godly woman, so.
Uh-oh. You had a few curse words, huh?
I had words. I had so many thoughts going through my head.
Yes, ma'am.
But things have got to change.
Yes.
And they will.
This has been going on and on and on. And like, I like what Audrey is doing. Our people need to be educated. they need to know that there's more out there than just thugging. And our kids need to start getting along with each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Quit killing each other.
Yes.
You know, if they have something to do to take their minds off, or they need to be with people, with other kids that are doing something.
Yes.
Constructive.
Yeah, as what's her name? Medea would say, constructive work, wherever. I was thinking about. But anyway, so I really love what Audrey was doing. When I met her, she just blew me out the water. When I met Marsha, she blew me out there. We stayed on the phone like 2 to 3 hours talking.
Yes.
And she gave me a little background, you know, about her background. But things are going to change.
Yes.
Now, what we're doing, you know, we always pray up.
Okay.
Because it's going to get touchy. It's going to get ugly.
Yes.
It's going to get very ugly.
Yeah, it's going to get very ugly.
From both sides.
Yes. Yes.
Sides.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
From both sides, because there's going to come a point, brothers and sisters, where we have to talk to our own people about our hand, about our responsibility in the justice and the injustices that are going on. That has to happen, but everything needs to be done in steps, you know. Yeah. But I want to echo what a little bit about what Sister Marsha said, and that is, this is a time of opportunity. We, even though, you know, I talk about the things that happened in the past, those are in the past, but those things are part of the things that gave me the drive to do what we do. I'm telling you now, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yes. Yes.
Until I die, and this Peacemakers, and hopefully everything that everyone there is doing will be here when we're gone. Absolutely. We're here to plant the seeds of change, not like we've done in the past. We have accepted, and if I offend anybody, I'm sorry. But in the past, here's why we're where we are now, because we have accepted so many peace offerings, or I call them pacifiers. That's what we've accepted over the years. We're no longer going to accept any pacifiers. Zero tolerance is what we're going for, and we're going to achieve it. But we can't do it alone. We all have to get together.
All have to.
Because together we have the power, and they know we have the power. Let's show them our power.
Absolutely. And Mr. Derek, you touched on something, but there's someone that's on the line that just, I could see she's been agreeing with you and she's feel what you're saying. Miss Alice, can you come on a little bit? Because I see you've been like, this whole show's been touching. I've been watching you. It's been touching me. Miss Alice, please share what you've been feeling. And I'm come back to you, Brother Derek, Mr. Derek. But I saw Miss Alice. Miss Alice, come on, share a little bit. Because I see you was touched. You've been touched. She's part of that N.A.A.C.P Institute as well. She's all the way from California. Miss Alice, can you come on share, please?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to get unmute.
There you go.
Okay. Hi. I'm really touched because when I started with Audrey doing her N.A.A.C.P Institute,
yes,
I did it because she was my buddy. We've been friends for over 40-some years. And but as I got into it and I see her with these kids in these schools and listening to you guys tonight, I'm like, I live in California, and here the kids, they go through the same thing, but not quite as deep as the ones there. Because we do have Black student unions, and we do have police stopping us and harassing the people, but it's not the same. And the few times that I have come there for our events that we put on for N.A.A.C.P, I see those kids have a hunger that these kids here don't have, because we have all of this. And it's here for them. All you gotta do is reach out and you can get it, because there are so many programs and people to help these youth. Yes. But there you guys don't have as much as we have here. And I really am blown away and touched by what you guys, I'm seeing and hearing tonight from the people there. and I love it. And it makes me want to do even more with that, Ty. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me now coming to Oregon once this thing is all lifted and we can travel again.
Yeah.
We receive that. We receive that. And you know, somewhere I read, it said, Lord, send me and your gift will make a way for you.
Mhm.
And I heard you say you stay prayed up. Well, the next gentleman that's part of your program, I know he stays prayed up because the work that he does, he has to stay prayed up. Pastor Young, come on, please share a little bit, sir, with us.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Pastor Damien Young, and I'm the pastor of Steve Wilderness Ministries in Vancouver, Washington. We are currently a church planting everything. March 28th, we'll be doing what in Christianity is called a sending off service, where they go ahead and they lay hands on us and they send us out into God's vineyard. That's not the only hat that I wear in Vancouver, Washington. I hail in as the chair of religious affairs of the N.A.A.C.P. I always like to give honor where it is due. I thank God for Reverend Marva Edwards is on here and everything. When I first took the position, you know, it's always wise to go ahead and to find out what your predecessor did before you and everything. And so I believe that I'm standing on her shoulders this evening, picking up the work that she has done in that position, and not just in that position, but in the NAACP as a whole and everything. I mean, we could be here all night talking about her legacy in Vancouver, Washington and everything. But as for myself and everything, I thank you, Tony Brown, for, just about this platform being from the people to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard so many good comments on here tonight. I just want to highlight a few tonight. Audrey, she talked about moving forward. I think that's really important, is to really just keep on moving forward as a people and everything, learning from our mistakes and just keep moving forward. The other person, as I was sitting here taking notes tonight, was Marsha and everything. And Marsha, I'm friends with her and everything. And she let us know that we come from greatness. And that's truly a dynamic thing, because in my ministry, the message that we want to get out to everybody is that we want to get out to everybody that greatness lies within you. You know, we want to tap into that greatness. I have no other sole purpose but to help people understand that greatness lies within you. Then next after that was BJ Andrews. And I liked how she said, go out into the world and touch hearts. You know, I think that's so much what it's about, even as a leader and everything, not getting detached from the people that need my help. God did not put me in leadership to for some kind of ceremonial thing, but I believe that God put me in leadership, man, to be a voice of the voiceless and to help those that don't have a voice. And so after that, Vanesia, we thank you for, man, your outreach within the community. And as always, Derek and Regina, thank you for, man, letting us know that we don't need to accept offerings, you know, because one of the things that I believe about that is that when we look at the state of Vancouver, Washington, that it is because we have accepted things that did not really lie in tangible change, you know?
Yes.
Just coming to tables to come to tables, you know, that really doesn't, you know, work. But that's my personal opinion. You know, I don't speak for the NAACP or anything. That's just my personal opinion on that. Coming, you know, hey, to tables and everything just to do it, you know, it just doesn't work. I'm a little bit more of one that is a strategist. I believe that, you know, hey, God does give strategies. I believe that, hey, David wanted to go ahead and take out Goliath. You know, he didn't aim at his kneecaps, you know, made sure that he did it, you know, in one blow and everything. And so, you know, I'm just one of those that, I mean, hey, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, you know, hey, trying to affect change and everything. And so I believe that, you know, if we, man, really study the city, study Vancouver, understand how change is made in the city, that we can affect change, you know. But I know on the flip end of that, that it takes, you know, our people to rally behind, hey, our leadership and everything, and to uphold leadership and those that are, you know, doing the work. I'm just like Derek, I'm in this for the long haul, like I told them. you know, I wouldn't have took it if I was not in it for the long haul. I don't get from this. You know, this is just something as an Afro-American male in a man outgunned city and everything that, you know, this is just something that we have to do. It's a personal conviction. I feel like it's a calling from God, like Moses with the burning bush and everything. God kept showing me burning bushes last year of Afro-American males that had died in our community. And, you know, me being an Afro-American male, you know, we just can't have that. And it's like, I'm gonna leave y'all with this quote tonight by John Lewis. It's my favorite one. It's my motivation to get into good trouble. And it says, do not get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, a week, a month, or a year. It is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble, necessary trouble.
Hey, I like that.
I really live by this year is that, you know,
right, sure.
There's some good trouble to get into in Vancouver, Washington. And when we've had over 20 murders in actually 20 murders in what, 4 years and everything, that's a lot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What I usually tell people when I speak to them, I try to make sure that they understand that we're in a state of emergency right now in Vancouver, Washington, because I believe that if we can call a state of emergency for the snow, we should be able to see what's going on, that it is a state of emergency for Afro-American males. And not just that, but one's dying every 90 days.
Oh my goodness.
So I urge my people with urgency that, you know, we got to move quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I mean, one every 90 days, I mean, that's just, yeah.
Yes.
That's quarterly. That's quarterly.
Pastor Dick.
One of the things, how I'll get to the solution and everything. So what I'm kind of doing out in the community right now is that I'm bringing together Afro-American pastors and Caucasian pastors and churches so that we can be one voice. That we can, you know, lift up our voices and speak to the situations that are going on in our community. Because I just believe that, you know, hey, knowing the creator of this universe and everything, that he gave us some power, and that if we stand up, that, you know what, they'll pay attention to that, you know. When faith leaders come together and begin to, you know, work together and, you know, just really see this as this is and everything, you know, that how can, you know, we allow Afro-American males to die, you know?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Pastor, that was so powerful. And what stepped out even more said, you're in it the long way. And you saying, Lord, send me. And I really can't say on that one. I said, send me. Send me.
That was one a little bit more fasting and prayer about. It was like, Lord, you don't have somebody else?
Yes.
No?
Yes. 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 And you spoke about Goliath. And somewhere I read it said Goliath picked up 7 stones. Was it 7, 5, 7 stones?
David picked up 5.
And 5. And that's what we have to do as a community. Every facet of us got to pick up a stone and get in that slingshot together. We got to wind it up. So when we shoot it out there collectively, we can hit the Goliath. We can bring Goliath down collectively. And I like what Mr. Thompson was saying. On both sides, that's what I said. Both sides of us got to get in that slingshot.
Yes.
Because it's going to be rough. But I'm gonna leave it right there. We're gonna close, but before we close, we have to go back to the matriarch, the young at heart, Mother Marva. Please leave us with a word. Oh, let me say this too. This is just the beginning of the journey.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would do another show, and we would do another show.
Thank you.
We would do another show.
Yes.
We'll keep getting this information out to the people.
Get it out there.
Part of the problem, but we're going to be part of the solution.
That's right.
Yes.
There you go.
Amen. Mother Marva, please bless us on the way out with a word of wisdom.
Amen. Let us remember always our dream, and let us not forget that we might have to struggle, but God is on our side, and
Yes.
just keep moving forward. Amen. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Well,
Yeah.
she done blessed us out. On behalf of Straight Talk TV, the show that cares about you, and it's so true. The information comes from the people to the people. I want to thank our engineer. I want to thank each and every one of you for your patience, for your love, for filling my cup up, and let me be a part of getting the information out and the platform that we've been blessed to have. Everybody, please love on each other, take care of each other, and we got work to do. This is your platform, Straight Talk TV. Have a blessed day. Everybody be blessed. Thank you so much.
It's all about love in action.
Yes, absolutely. Be blessed. Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I hope to get in touch with all of you. Check out all your organizations.
That's what it's about. Networking, reaching the teacher. Yes. Absolutely. And soon
if we think we can do it with just alone, it's not going to work.
Absolutely. And if we don't tell our story, who will?
That's right.
That's it.
That's right. May I just say one thing? That's one thing that when we got this started. That's one place that God sent us. He didn't send us to our communities. He sent us to the white suburbs where the white people would tell you what's going on over there. Never even touched us. Yes. And it's amazing the support that we get when we go the right way and we actually begin educating. And what we have to do to the white people, we have to educate them historically. And we have to do the same thing to our people. Absolutely. Historically, because we have a distorted, disjointed, lying history. And I say this all the time. I can't stand Black History Month because it shouldn't be one. Because our history is every day, all day long.
365 days.
I don't like to hear people talk about the first Black, because every time you say the first Black, you know what you're saying? This is what they're saying. They're saying they're the first Black because before them, we didn't allow it. I want that stuff to be wiped out, where we never have to talk about color again. My name is Derek. My name isn't my color. My name is Derek, but I love my color. Yes. I'm a Black man. I always say I'm the blackest, the lightest Black man you ever saw in my life. And here, I am so Black it doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. Come on, Mr. Andrews. I see Mr. Andrews back there. Him, Mr. Andrews, come on. I can see y'all have something to say. Go ahead, fill us up. Come on.
Huh?
Come on.
You have something.
Well, I just want to finish up with this, and it's this right here. My brother, where are you? Was it you who called, or did I dream? I thought I heard a voice in the night, and I thought I heard a scream. My brother, where are you? We're here.
Come on.
I like the poetry.
Come
on. The stuff you said, Langston Hughes Jr.
Come on.
I wrote in the chat section that we would like everyone else's email addresses so that we can be in touch. We've been in Vancouver since 1977, so we know, we have experienced.
Oh, you do.
We've been here with Reverend Marva. I mean, she and I, we moved here at the same time.
And I called myself a quasi-friend of Sheriff Atkins.
Yes.
We're good friends. Okay, we're friends.
We communicate.
Well, we need to talk then.
See? Okay. Oh my goodness. Right. See how that energy works? See how yes, that's what this platform is about. And the lady that always share with me, before I come to her, I want to come to the young lady, the millennium on the call, and just share a little bit how you feel about all this energy that's going on right now. Vanesia, please.
It's really honoring to be a part of this conversation and to experience all of you guys' stories and what you guys are sharing, because what you're all saying is like, it's really wise and it's very true, because I see reflected today, you know, like they say that, oh yeah, it might have ended, but they made a new way to continue all the prejudice against us, all the racism against us. You know, they call this day and age a new Jim Crow, you know, and it's very inspiring to hear all you guys' stories.
Ring with the harmony.
Yes, yes.
Is won. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, about a day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Is won. Is won.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.